welcome back. Glad as always to have you spending a little time with us. It is November, the second day of the 11th month. Days getting darker much quicker after daylight savings time has run out of gas. We've got a lot to talk about tonight on this first day of the 11th month, News Day, that is. Of course, tomorrow being the 3rd is Election Day. We hope certainly you'll plan on getting out to vote. Statewide races, our next governor shall be seated. We do believe tomorrow, polls showing a close race, close enough to see it last past tomorrow. Well, certainly nothing new in that respect. We'll have to just, of course, wait and see. Then, of course, there is that Supreme Court justice race that's also on the polls for many of our viewing voters. We've got football scores, who's going on to the postseason this Friday night and against who. Several auto accidents, a dog actually critically injured in a serious two-car collision that also resulted in one of the occupants being airlifted to the UK Medical Center. Former Morgan County Judge Executive Tim Connolly wants to re-enter a guilty plea and try to get a lesser sentence for time to be served. Other news and information that we'll be getting out to you in the next half hour. Your Licking Valley RECC forecast in a brief nutshell. Look for some locally dense fog tonight. We've got drier and warmer air through Thursday and temperatures into the mid-70s. Beautiful. We saw some clouds roll in today, but that's about it. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, going to be hard to find a nicer day. And, of course, just about the time the weekend rolls around, well, we've got a major change-up coming, and temperatures will go from the mid-70s to down into the 50s will fall, I believe, on your Saturday. So certainly a few words of warning in your forecast, and definitely some big changes in store. Few things, actually one report just coming in literally as I sat down, and I've only had time to really briefly review it, and I'll get to that in our first report in just a second. I do need to make mention that as soon as I'm out of here, I'm on my way to the Sagersville City Council meeting. Of course, last month's meetings were postponed for calendar reasons, I believe, and that meeting has been set for tonight. Items on the agenda: first reading of an amendment updating fees charged for various businesses, an update from the Sagersville Water Commissioner, David Gardner, on the water tank located at North Church Street. They are set to go into executive session. Discuss we do not know what, obviously. Authorization to solicit price quotes from auditors for city records, the mayor's report, and other items. I'll have a camera there. I'll be there and have a report for you on tomorrow's program. Before we get to local headlines, the Justice Department has announced today that a federal grand jury in London has indicted 2 former deputy jailers at the Kentucky River Regional Jail on charges related to the July 9th, 2013 in-custody death of a man identified as Larry Trent, a pretrial detainee at the jail. This indictment, which we've just received a few moments ago, charges 38-year-old Damon Hickman and 59-year-old William Howe with causing Trent's death, and it also charges Hickman with trying to cover up his involvement in the death. Hickman and Howe are charged with federal civil rights violations for depriving Trent of his civil rights. Count 1 of the indictment charges Hickman and Howe for failing to provide Trent with necessary medical care after he was injured, thereby acting with deliberate indifference to a substantial risk of harm to Trent, which resulted in his death. Count 2 charges both defendants with using excessive force against Trent, resulting in bodily injury to him. Hickman is additionally charged with 1 count of obstruction of justice for falsifying an official log by indicating that observations of Trent were being made and that Trent was, quote, 10-4, meaning that he was safe and not in obvious physical distress, when in fact he was not. Hickman and Howe face a maximum penalty of life in prison for the death resulting civil rights offense and face a maximum penalty of 10 years in prison for assaulting Trent. Hickman also faces a maximum of 20 years for falsification of records in a federal investigation. The case is being investigated by the FBI's London resident agency with assistance provided by the Kentucky State Police. We'll have more. This information forwarded to me from the Eastern District for the United States Court of Eastern Kentucky. My apologies. With that said, I'll go ahead and pause just for a brief break. When we come back, we'll go ahead and dive into several serious auto accidents that happened since I saw you last. One actually happening this past Friday afternoon, we've learned, in Morgan County. And a soldier was not injured as far as life-threatening injuries are concerned. Over the course of the weekend on the Mountain Parkway, his seatbelt undoubtedly saved his life. We'll take you to the scene in just a second.
To get high-speed internet on their state-of-the-art fiber optic network for all of your home and business solutions,
or to watch TV without a contract on over 200 digital channels with superb quality, or stay connected with family and friends with 24/7 telephone service you can always depend on, contact Foothills Broadband today. Or just click on their link to the right to find out how they're working to provide the latest in communications at affordable prices with exceptional service at Foothills Broadband. Well, in what might not be typical Monday fashion, the file with all of our top headlines is still rendering, so I'm going to skip on over to tonight's community calendar real quick, and just a couple of reminders and announcements on it. It is, as is always, brought to you by McGoffin Farm Bureau. Just a quick reminder that the Healthy Holiday Cooking Series continues tomorrow, and it's just about over. Tuesdays at the Licking River Baptist Church at 5:30. Wednesdays at the McGoffin County Extension Office. This is a free, healthy holiday cooking series, and the classes are open to anyone. If you want to find out more, call the Extension Office tomorrow at 349-3216. Now, this and next week will be the last 2 weeks for the series, and I'm hearing that they're having a great time and making some wonderful meals at the same time. Mount Sinai Church of God wants to remind you they're conducting their annual coat drive for their shoebox giveaway this coming December, hoping to make Christmas a little warmer for some folks. They're collecting coats, scarves, toboggans, gloves, baby quilts, blankets. All donations appreciated. You can drop them off at D&R Clothing across from the Sangersville Speedway, or call Rita Cole at 349-2835. And the next McGoffin County Community Blood Drive has been set. The event is taking place 1 week from today. I'll remind you throughout the week, the Kentucky Blood Center Blood Mobile will be at the Highlands After Hours Clinic building there, of course, behind the Sangersville Subway. That is 1 week from today, next Monday, 12:30 till 5 p.m. I'll remind you, and do the next event where you can help save a life or lives by donating blood. Quick, relatively, and if not all, painless, and very easy to do. Also, just about as easy to do, maybe even a little easier, is get your announcement on our calendar. And that includes birthdays and anniversaries and the like. We'll do it for free. Tell everyone about it. And this is exactly all the links you can use to get them on the program, besides dropping them off here at the studio on East Maple Street in Sangersville, just above the Sangersville Post Office. Turning to funeral service announcements this Monday, I do have one in honor of 77-year-old Bill Jenkins of Rockhouse Creek Road, who passed away on the 30th, married to Leatha Mae Jenkins, who survives. He's also survived by sons Mark, that'll be our coroner in McGoffin County, Mark Jenkins, and Tracy Jenkins, and a daughter, Dana Keaton. Visitation continues this evening at the Rockhouse Liberty Baptist Church, and that will be where services will be held tomorrow beginning at 1 in Bill's honor. Burial will follow at the Bill Jenkins Family Cemetery on Rockhouse. The Sangersville Funeral Home is in charge of arrangements, but once again, visitation tonight and funeral services tomorrow beginning at 1 at the Rockhouse Liberty Baptist Church. Everyone's wrapped up their regular season schedule as of this past Friday night, and at least for a couple of area teams, it's on to postseason play this Friday night. I've still got our headlines to come in just a few moments. We'll probably just condense that all towards the latter segment of the program. So we'll skip on to football scores, where Johnson Central Golden Eagles were golden going into the Belfry matchup, but Belfry just put the hurt on them and held them to 41-0. And the Golden Eagles had been undefeated till that point and finished their season at 8-1. This was not a district matchup, so they are going on undefeated in the district and in the region into postseason play, and they'll do so by hosting Holmes this Friday night. Kickoff set for 7:30. The Holmes Bulldogs are a District 7 team who are 4-6, and they've actually won just a little more than they've lost, winning 200 points and losing 192 throughout their regular season schedule. So looks to be a Johnson Central favorite going into the first round of the Class 4A Russell Athletic Commonwealth Gridiron Bowl. As for the McGoffin County Hornets, they fared about the same as Central in their last matchup. I stayed at home and saw a little more than 400 trick-or-treaters Friday night, and by the time I made it to the game, the Hornets already scored their only 6 points of the contest against West Carter. This, of course, was a regional matchup. No significance in the district, and therefore postseason. They finished 43-6 against West Carter, 2-8 on the season. They did pick up 2 wins earlier, that being Betsy Lane and Knott County Central. Now wrap up their season 2-8, 1-4 in district play, 1-6 in the region. I have hosting West Carter there at the bottom of the screen. That obviously leftovers from last week's report there. Nevertheless, they are done after wrapping it up against West Carter at home. I've also done the same thing at Morgan County here, leaving hosting Sheldon Clark on the very bottom line. When that's what they did last Friday night, and they came up with a loss. This was another regional matchup loss at the helm of the Morgan County Cougar football team, 12-14 against Sheldon Clark. So they're going to wrap their season up at 4-6 with 1 district win, 1-4 in the district, 2-6 in the region, and of course that will sum up their season right there at a 4-6 record, not going on into postseason play. That would be the Paintsville Tigers, undefeated. They were already district champs going into this last matchup this past Friday night, taking on Valley and coming up with a win, 44-27. Perfect. 10-0, 5-0, 2-0 across the board. The Tigers of Paintsville won 435 points, giving up only 132. That takes them on into, of course, Class 1A gridiron action. They're hosting Bracken County this Friday night. Bracken County comes in at a 3-5 team, 1-3 in their district, winning just 199 points and losing 308. So I think it's safe to say, with all due respect to Bracken County, the Paintsville Tigers definitely a favorite for their first round of action in postseason play. And I'm hopeful we'll go to headlines after just a few more words. Stay tuned. Several auto accidents in parts of the viewing area since I saw you last, and the first one that I have learned of actually goes back to this past Friday afternoon and happened in Morgan County shortly after the 3 o'clock hour. Some Sagersville natives were involved, as was their pet, I am told. One airlifted to the UK Medical Center as a result of a 2-car collision. The Morgan County Rescue Squad, who shared some photographs, actually also shared this photograph of an earlier auto accident that they responded to. From my understanding, they and other departments responded to a single-car collision after the driver lost control and traveled over an embankment several feet, coming to rest on its side. Here, their picture shows the vehicle that was said to have contained 1 male and 1 female in the front seats. They were able to exit the vehicle on their own. A female in the back seat, though, had to be extricated. They first had to use some cribbing and jacks to stabilize the vehicle before they could gain access to that female. She was placed on a backboard package and then taken to a waiting ambulance. These are photographs they shared of an accident that the Kentucky State Police tells me happened at 3:15 this past Friday when they got a call at Post 8 about a 2-vehicle injury collision at the junction of 519 and Kentucky Route 7 in Morgan County. Upon responding, they determined that 63-year-old Mildred Sparks of West Liberty with a West Liberty address was traveling southbound on Kentucky 519 in her 2000 Crown Victoria when she tried to make a left turn onto Kentucky 7. And when she did, she was struck by another vehicle, that being a 2014 Chevrolet Cruze that was said to be operated by 30-year-old Kim Crace of Campton, who was traveling northbound on 519. As for Mrs. Sparks, she was reportedly taken to the Morgan County ARH Medical Center and then they're airlifted from there to the UK Medical Center for further treatment and evaluation. State Police says that she was last listed in stable condition. As for Miss Crace, she was taken to the Morgan County ARH Medical Center as well and listed in stable condition at that facility. Isom Sparks, 67 of Sagersville, was treated and released from the Morgan County ARH Medical Center as well. According to other reports, Isom and Mildred were not the only occupants, if you will, of their vehicle. Also was a small Yorkshire Terrier. Now, I'm told right now that the Terrier sustained critical injuries, and they called a veterinarian to the scene, the site of the collision. While waiting on the veterinarian to arrive, the dog was given oxygen and some other assistance. The Yorkie was then taken to the West Liberty Veterinary Clinic. We don't know any details on how the dog is or if it survived the crash. We know that none of the victims were entrapped, but all 3 were removed from their vehicles, packaged, and then transported by ambulance to the Morgan County facility, with Mildred Sparks, being transported by air once again to the UK Medical Center. This is some video brought back of an early Saturday morning crash on the Mountain Parkway near the 66-mile marker. Of course, a very common place for auto accidents. However, this one believed to be caused by possibly a sleepy driver was also a National Guard soldier. We're told that the young man was traveling from EKU, from campus to the Prestonsburg facility of the Army National Guard for drill weekend. It was around 6 o'clock Saturday morning when it's believed that he may have fallen asleep, veered across the oncoming lane. You can see there the bend in the guardrail there of the bridge. His vehicle struck there and then continued to ride down the bridge structure, if you will, until its front tire caught a portion of the bridge, and that's when it flipped the vehicle over. Emergency personnel believe that the SUV, the Ford Explorer he was in, flipped at least 1.5 times, landing on its side. Now, he was still inside and was wearing his seatbelt, which is believed to be the reason that he survived and was not ejected from this crash, even though he was complaining of lower back and other injuries. The top of the vehicle had to be completely removed by the Montgomery County Rescue Squad. All 3 posts, A, B, and C posts on that side of the vehicle had to be cut. The top had to be peeled back, and then he was removed from that vehicle before being taken by ambulance to an area hospital. We later learned that he suffered, we believe, no life-threatening injuries as a result. But once again, the bottom line, the seatbelt is credited for saving his life. Former Morgan County Judge Executive Tim Connolly, who was sentenced to more than 7 years in prison for his part of a federal corruption case, is now requesting that he be allowed to enter another verdict, albeit a guilty one, nevertheless to what would be a lesser sentence. Bill Eastep of the Herald-Leader reported over the weekend that Connolly has requested a new plea hearing in his federal corruption case in hopes of a lesser sentence after pleading guilty last year to mail fraud. U.S. District Judge Gregory Van Tatenhoff sentenced Connolly, as we reported at the time, to 7 years and 3 months in prison. However, an attorney representing him on an appellate basis filed a motion just this past Friday requesting that his guilty plea be set aside and that he be allowed to have a new hearing and re-enter a guilty plea and argue for a lower sentence. The appeal, in part, from what I understand, arguing that Connolly did not understand each and every element of the mail fraud crime on which he pleaded guilty, namely that Connolly had a specific intent to commit fraud and used the mail to do so when he sent a letter to the state back in August of 2013 to get funding for 3 bridges to be constructed in Morgan County, at the same time extorting $45,000 in bribes from the contractor for those projects. According to his motion to appeal, quote, it's not clear Connolly understood he was admitting that he intended to use the mail to commit the fraud, saying Connolly did not admit he intended to commit a fraud when he mailed the letter requesting funds for various bridges. The motion, from what I understand, per reading this, it also goes on to argue that federal prosecutors breached Connolly's plea deal by seeking a higher sentence than the maximum outlined under advisory federal guidelines. Connolly faced several charges and agreed to plead guilty to one. The federal court system uses a point system to come with a potential sentence, and then prosecutors allege that where he was not willing to give up his office and then stayed in and even ran for re-election, that was grounds for them to seek a stiffer sentence. The judge, though, sticking with about a 7-year term and 3 months in prison. Connolly's appeal also argues that the judge shouldn't have ordered Connolly to pay back restitution to the tune of about $130,000 to the state and to Morgan County on those bridge projects because they were all completed. The U.S. Attorney's Office has not commented thus far. They have until the end of November to respond formally in court. Connolly, of course, has reported to prison in Beckley, West Virginia. He is set to be released as of right now in July of 2021. Well, it's been out of order. I've had to leave out a couple of interviews, a few other portions of some of the reports, but I did manage to get it on. Not like a few technical difficulties on a Monday, and the first one of November, mind you. Nevertheless, I'm going to wrap it up with your Licking Valley RECC forecast. And man, is it nice for a few days, and man, is it come crashing to an end just around the same time the weekend rolls around. Let me back it up. Let's look at tonight in a low of 50 degrees, mostly cloudy skies. Look for some late, dense fog tonight, and it will be enough to cause some visibility issues, but it's going to be rather mild, a low of 50. We will start off Tuesday on a foggy note, areas of dense fog, maybe up to around 10 a.m. or so. We're going to see more sun tomorrow than we did today. Mostly sunny skies. We're going to see around 74 degrees tomorrow. Absolutely zero complaints. And a low 55 tomorrow night, I think, should also render the complaint box pretty much free as well. Partly cloudy skies late tomorrow, setting us up for midweek with more sunny skies, at least partly sunny with a little fog lingering in the morning, but mid-70s. Mid-50s for nighttime lows following that beautiful daytime high. We will see mostly cloudy skies late Wednesday. Thursday, though, partly sunny skies return, as do the low to mid-70s. We're talking about 74 on Wednesday and 74 again on your Thursday. And Thursday will be when we'll run out of gas. Partly sunny, gorgeous, and a chance of showers late. But Thursday night, we're talking about technically 4 a.m. for that chance of showers. So really into your Friday morning, and that's when it all comes crashing down. Temperatures are not going to go anywhere as of Friday. We'll still see the low to mid-70s at 74 again. Right now, the fourth day in a row for a 74-degree day. But we'll see clouds and we'll see showers likely. That front will also give us a low 52, but what it's really going to give us is a big change for the weekend, and that's when temperatures take a dive, literally. We'll go from the 70s all week long to 59, partly sunny with a chance of some showers on your Saturday and a low of 38. I've got 59 Saturday, I've got 54 Sunday, and I've got 60 on your Monday. Once again, all of that just in time for the weekend. That's going to wrap it up for me. We'll see you back here tomorrow night for more of Your News Today.